Well, hello there. I am so glad that you are here today. Took me just a few minutes to get a little bit organized, but I'm here and we're about ready to paint. I want to get to where I can see comments if some of them are made by you. Also, I need to adjust a camera so you'll be able to see me painting today. I'm Marty Whitney with ARTitude Adjustment. And glad that you are here today. So, like I said, I am Marty Whitney with ARTitude Adjustment, and I teach fun art, not fine art. So, every week I come on every day, and I will show you some different techniques. I'll show you different projects, and this week we just happen to be doing some canvases that look like this. This one is about 4x12, and I'm going to be doing a scripture verse I've been trained to use Roman Bookhand, but I'm trying to get away from that, and I probably will use another print. Nothing fancy, because I want you to feel comfortable whenever you're painting. So what we're going to do is to just I'm going to paint the background color on this and go from there. Let's see. First of all, I want to welcome you to the show, and then I'm going to put me in a little bitty box. I made one smaller a while ago, so hopefully it will be in the right place. Okay. There. Nope, wrong way. We'll just do it right here. Sorry. Still backwards. Okay. My B camera has got to go. Okay, what I'm going to do, these have already been primed. And what I'm going to do is to put a background color on these. I've got different color paint, just so you'll see my palette that I'm going to start out with. And these are just regular canvases. I'm going to do a little bit of a neutral background, but I want to incorporate some leaves at first, so I'm going to be doing some kind of greens in there. So like I said, I teach an art class called ARTitude Adjustment. Priscilla, I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for joining. And when you come in, I hope you'll say hello and maybe let me know where you're from. I'm going to put me, though, in a little box. And there, it's right there. There, that's what I was looking for. You didn't need to see me. And I'm going to adjust that box a little bit later. I hope y'all had a great weekend. I use a software called Switcher. I've used it for a month now, and it's working out well for me. It does have a little bit of a learning curve, but I like it for crafts. I like it for painting and for making my body smaller. So, hi Gail, glad you're here. And like I said, I'm just going to be putting some paint on here. I've got 2 of these to do. Now, this is a little bit different than I usually do because I don't usually have time to do a scripture. And I want these to be real light. I use Deco Art paint, but sometimes I just use what's on sale too. But I like, when I do my classes, I offer the best paint I can find. I like plaid paints, and I also like Deco Art. Deco Art sends me a lot of, hey Barbara, oh, I'm so glad you're here from Minnesota. Yeah, nice of you to be here today. I guess you're having a little bit of fall weather, hopefully. Gail, you know Barb, don't you? So, Gail, are you in Florida? We are in northern Alabama, and that's what I figured out about my, my signal the other day. It kept being interrupted, and I almost couldn't get through. Now, it was put together whenever I would upload it to YouTube, but what the problem was is 3,000 guys or people are getting off work here at the factory where we're having our motorhome serviced, and you know, they grab their phones and look at their Facebook and say hello to everybody and answer their calls, and that's a lot of them. For a lot of them, it's when their days start sometimes, you know, because they work from about 7 to 3 around here, and so it's some of them go to another job, or they do jobs around on other motorhomes, and they're very talented. So anyway, what I'm saying though is that I didn't realize what was happening. I knew I had a good signal. I've never had a problem getting a signal here, but it slowed down to 0, and I'm going to put this over here to be drying a little bit and then continue on the next canvas. I like these small ones. This is going to be a gift. I don't know who it's going to be a gift for yet, but it's going to be a gift. And let me show you. I'll put this where you can see my paints, and that I'm just kind of randomly putting them on here. This will be a good project if you don't paint a lot, but you want to do some gifts for Christmas, put them aside, and you don't want to, you know, I've done a lot of needlework and stuff like that, but this is a really sweet gift, very special, and you will say that it is handcrafted. You have done everything by hand. Very warm in Minnesota today. Oh. Okay, well, I can give you some ideas. I know that. Now I have the one that we'll be doing as well as this one. We've got 3 canvases, and it's like unlike something I've done before too, but I want to try it because I might be doing it in a class, and will be a black canvas, and I had bought it to use for something else, and I thought, let me just try this and see how I like it. And you'll see, it doesn't need to be primed or anything, so I didn't even bring it out except to show you. It's a Master's Touch blank canvas, and it is an 8 by 10, and I just got paint all over my arm. Oh well. It's better than on your clothes because I usually have it there. Barb, we miss you. I'm glad that you're here because it's nice to visit with you. And I'll rub this off my arm. So anyway, I'm going to put a little bit of some green on here. My first scripture I thought about putting on here was Psalm 1914. And it's one of my favorites. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Now, anytime it says something like, let the words of my mouth, ... I know that I could probably use that one. Or, you know, sometimes. So, it just happens. So, anyway, I might leave some streaks in this one too. Just see how that goes. Okay. Now, I finished this. You can see this didn't take 10 minutes for me to put the base of what I'm going to do on here. Of course, the last one of the last things I'm going to do is the scripture, printing it on here, and if I can get it dark enough, I can use one of these, and that is a charcoal pencil. Excuse me. And I'll just put my brush in the water, and I'm going to be using a excuse me, number 5 brush, and I'm just going to be making some random I don't like that one, but this is all going to fit together, so I can't really say that. I'm going to be putting all kind of leaves on here, and it isn't going to be a vine, but hey, it might be a vine. Hadn't thought about a vine, but I don't want them to be very they're going to be different shades of green, because I don't want to get any darker than this. I don't want these greens to be any darker. Hey Donna, glad you joined. And I'll just be working on this. I don't have very long to do this, because this is like I said, the scripture is probably going to take the longest. And while I do something that's called a Roman book hand whenever I'm printing, I'm probably not going to be using that, because a lot of people are using just printed, using different fonts, and it's beautiful. I don't know what I'll be led to do at that time. I've got some floral stuff to do on here. I'm not just going to be doing these leaves, but this is going to be the base of a lot of what I'm doing on here. Hey Janet, glad you're here. And you can't see what I'm doing because I'm not putting it in my camera. There. And I can turn this different ways because it's not going to be going any particular direction. But these are going to be the background of the colors that we're going to be using. I don't want it to be very dark, and I don't want these colors to take over and dominate the wording that I'm going to put on here. So you're going to just see this as a background, but it's going to be nice. Talk about it, the weather. Oh my goodness. The weather here is like 92 degrees, and we're in Alabama. I haven't seen any change of, well, I say that. Maybe there's a little bit of change in the leaves, but not much. It's just, it's too hot. And on top of all you just want the weather to change and be fall immediately, and it doesn't happen like that. Like I said, if you're coming in now, I appreciate you saying your name and letting me know that you're here and where you're from. I'm here every day, and I was doing this every day at 3 o'clock until I realized that at 3 o'clock 3,000 people were getting off work at a factory close by where we are getting our motorhome service, and they are using the internet, and not only interrupting me, it just would stop altogether. So now I'm going to change to another brush. You can see a lot of times all I'm doing is applying pressure and bringing it off. I said bringing it off. Where'd you get that? I'm taking it off. You know, when I'm painting, it is an opportunity for me to just relax and rest. It's good therapy, and that's what I call it. It's therapeutic. And I know you feel that way too. It's a good way to relax and just kind of listen to whatever is on your mind. Think about it. And I was thinking about just doing a kind of a funny sign, you know, but this is something I don't ever get an opportunity to do when I'm painting. So then whenever you decide that you're going to do that, then you say, well, Lord, you just need to lead me at what would be the scripture that would mean the most to whoever this is going to. This is going to happen on down the line. See, I want these leaves just to be in the background. Well, hey, Maureen, are you back in town now? Well, not in my town, but weren't y'all in Chicago? Yeah, I want to know all about that. Maureen is one of the most unique people I've ever met. I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying a word. I like to, when I have a class, Barbara will tell you, Maureen will tell you, I usually try to find out something unique about people that are in the class. And you get to know a lot of people, and sometimes they come to your class and they don't know anybody, or they haven't, it may just be a class that they're in one time in their life. So they get to know each other at the class and maybe subsequent classes they attend. Well, oh, you didn't go? Not yet? Did you go to your high school reunion? Anyway, one day we had, and I love to hear unique things about people. Because we are very unique, and thank goodness God made us that way. But one day I said, okay, can you tell me something unique about yourself? And this lady said, yes, I was born a man. Well, were you there, Maureen? So I tried my best to just keep my nicest expression, and it was okay with me if she was born a man. But that was her maiden name. Now, Isn't that kind of funny? I thought it was. The whole class broke up. Hey, Christy, nice to see you. Oh, yes, it did, and it was lots of fun. Yeah, it was. It's always a lot of fun to find out unique things about people. I've been in a class where the lady was a next-door neighbor to Robert Redford, and she assured me that he looks just as good in pajamas as he does in the movies. So that was another unique experience. I've had a lady in the class that was, her daughter told me about this. I'm thinking she was foster parent to like over 100 people, 100 children. And she was at this rally with her family, and she would never have said that. She would never have admitted that. She never would have raised her hand and say, oh yes, I'm a foster mother. I mean, I can't even imagine. So if you've just come in, I'm just doing the background of something that is going to be a scripture. And Christine, how are you? I was thinking about you this morning. So let me see, something else unique. Oh, something else unique. I don't know if she's here right now, but there is a lady retired from Kimberly-Clark that used to be a tampon tester. Yeah, she was. I mean, I'm not making this up. This is the way it goes. So anyway, I'm just putting my background color on here. Now, she only had to work a week a month. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding about that. She worked full time, right? Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, I was thinking about Christine is a resin artist, a mighty fine one too. So I'm trying to build up my courage to do a class in resin. Okay, and this is just the background for what we're going to be doing. I might put a little bit of more. I will touch this up with some other things, but I want it to remain kind of neutral for what we're going to be doing to it. My paintbrushes are across the room. Now I could go get up and get them, but no. It's so nice not to be interrupted. And Christine, when I looked at your live, I think it was Sunday, it was beautiful about all your, Christine went to a thrift store and got all this glass stuff for her resin class, and it was awesome. Okay. Now I'm ready for my other one. I'm gonna do the same. I think I'll try a different brush. You know, I used to do a lot of murals, and one of the things that I hated about doing a mural is when, and y'all can relate to this because you paint, don't you hate it when somebody comes in the middle of your first stuff and they say, what's that? Well, it's ugly. You know, it's kind of like, it's really ugly. But it's going to be pretty. It's going to be beautiful. See if I can cover this a little. I might go back to the smaller brushes. But I loved your live. I love the one she showed her all of her treasures that she had gotten. And I'm amazed. I'm amazed at breaking glass up and using it like that. I always thought there would be little things flying around in the air, and it would make it impossible to use it. See, this doesn't have to be done. I'm just trying to blend these colors in as much as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to be using this underneath some things. Now tomorrow, we're going to make a little bit more headway on this project. Oh gosh. Well, what I'm saying though is, you know, you start on a mural or a project and people walk in and they judge it right then, and you are like saying, oh, it's going to be prettier, it's going to be nicer, I promise it's going to be okay now. But you're not there to please them. I mean, you really don't have to explain that. Of course it's not completed, but you want it, you know, usually it just isn't where you want it to be. That's just all there is to it. But I love doing murals. I finally got to where I didn't like getting up and down on ladders. And I wasn't sure of my stepping. The last step is usually the real booger of a mural. And have you seen those murals that they're doing? Like, I saw this in a school, and it was affirmations that they do on the back of like a bathroom door or a bathroom wall in a school. You seen those? Hey, Pamela. Well, that was so nice that I want to do it. I want to do it. I mean, those are low enough I can do them now. And I love affirmations. I know y'all do too. Anything that will help the world become a little more positive, that's what I'm for. And the only Christy, you would be awesome at that, because your affirmations printed. Christy is just teaches decorative printing, and she's so talented. This would be awesome for you. Now I just want to get a little more shading up in this area. Not that that's going to make a big difference. Tomorrow we're going to start on the next part of it, which will be the design of it. I'll be back at 2:15, and I'll be back at 2:15. Everything goes well, and I appreciate you being here so much. It's a great day to have a great day, and let me tell you something I'm working on really hard. This little button right here. I keep looking over here. I don't mean to do that. Have any of you ever had that problem? Anyway, these are the beginning of our project for tomorrow, and well, the rest of the week. I've got one other canvas, and it's going to be the black one, and then we're going to put a scripture on both of them. I have two different scriptures. One is in Psalm 19, and the other one is Galatians, which is the fruit of the Spirit. So I'm so glad you're here today. I'm going to work real hard on looking at you. And if you have any questions or comments, please message me. So y'all, and there's my little, look at this. There, I need to adjust that a little bit more. Sit back and relax and just enjoy this. So y'all have a great evening. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.